Hi guys, and welcome back to another Video Game with Powers. I'm Jake. In today's video, we are going to be continuing our top 100 favorite games in our collection series. In today's video specifically, we are going to be taking a look at my 30th through 21st favorite game in our collection. As always, guys, just like we say, and that's like I say in every video, I am using PubMeeple, that website, which is essentially a ranking engine to rank board games and many other different lists. You can basically pair your BGG account with PubMeeple, and it'll basically put these games side by side, and you pick which game you like better. After quite a lengthy process, it will produce a list for you, and so that is the list I have used for all of these countdown videos. If you guys are interested in making a list like that, go ahead and take a look at the description below for the link to that website. But let's go ahead and dive right into today's video, guys, taking a look at my 30th favorite game in our collection. Alrighty, number 30 is going to be Azul. Now, we do have the Master Chocolatier Edition as well as Mini Azul, but Azul is a tile drafting game where you are going to have your own player board. There's a bunch of tiles out in the middle, and you are going to be drafting a certain color, and then you are going to be putting these different colors on your board, trying to make and collect these different patterns. A classic game, you know, ages 8+, 2 to 4 players, around 30 to 45 minutes. Now, I do enjoy Azul. Again, it's very simple. It's that tile drafting, but there's a lot of complexity here with putting these different pieces into the perspective spots on your board. But I really do enjoy the Master Chocolatier version, because who doesn't love drafting chocolate and building different patterns of chocolate here. And funny enough, sometimes me and the wife, when we're playing this game, we actually do get some chocolate to eat some chocolate as well. But like I said, we also own Mini Azul, which is essentially the travel edition of Azul, and we do play that a lot as well. But very simple, clean, crisp, classic game. This is my 30th favorite game in the collection here, Azul. All right, taking a look at number 29, not to be outdone, is another classic game called Splendor, where Splendor, essentially you are going to be collecting these gems here and then trading these gems in for cards, which are, some cards are going to score you victory points, but these cards are also going to count as resources to use to go ahead and generate some of these other cards. And then once you collect a certain amount of cards here, you will be able to get these nobles here into your collection as well to score victory points. This is ages 10+, around 30 minutes, 2 to 4 players. Again, Splendor is just a classic game. I love these poker chips that they have, having that abundance of poker chips in your hand. And like I said, I'm a very visual, touchy type person, so I love the feel of those poker chips. It's very simple. You draft some poker chips on your turn, and then you can also trade in poker chips, but you can't do it in the same turn. So it's this constant struggle of, okay, do I take chips this turn, or do I trade in my chips to get cards for victory points? But overall, just a great mechanics here with this game. Classic board game here called Splendor. Now, we don't own the expansion. I'd love to get the expansion to see what the expansion adds. I think it's like Cities and Kings or something like that, if I remember correctly. But I'd love to get the expansion to see how that plays, but really do enjoy Splendor for the poker chip feel. This is the 29th favorite game in our collection here, Splendor. Alrighty, guys, moving on to game number 28. We have Horrified Greek Monsters. All right, Horrified Greek Monsters is the Greek theming of the board game Horrified, which is a cooperative board game, which is the classic pick up and deliver, where you are going to be drafting an asymmetric character. You are basically going to all these different spots on the board here, and you are going to be picking up items, using these items to defeat one of these 6 mythic monsters. And we actually recently played this the other day, and you can only get up to 4 monsters. Okay, I think I said 5 in one of my other videos, but you can either choose 2, 3, or 4 monsters to battle against. And you know, sometimes two monsters. If you get the right two monsters, they are very difficult by itself. But ages 10 plus, 1 to 5 players, around 60 minutes. A good theming here for me. I do love that Greek theme, so this speaks to me so much. And I do enjoy this a lot more than the original Horrified, just because mainly of the theme. But also, I do like a new mechanic that they added in this one with the layers. Okay, layer tokens, where you have to find, on top of that, you have to find out where some of these layers are for like the Minotaur and Medusa, because you need to lead them into that location in order to defeat them. But nice, simple, classic pick up and deliver cooperative game here. My 28th favorite game in the collection, Horrified Greek Monsters. Alrighty, moving on to number 27, we have Canvas. Now, I really do enjoy Canvas. Canvas is a card drafting game where you are going to be drafting these different cards with gorgeous, you're going to actually be drafting these transparent cards with one singular piece of artwork, but also these symbols, and then you are going to combine 3 different cards together in a sleeve to create some artwork here with a bunch of these different icons. And you're going to have these scoring conditions, these scoring cards that are going to tell you how to score points with these icons. But this to me is this is essentially what do I want to call it? In a sense, this is essentially Century Golem Edition, but I think this is a much simpler, more refined, more beautiful production than Century Golem Edition is. I do love the artwork, I love the transparent cards and things like that. Now, we do own both expansions to Canvas, but we have not played them yet. They are still in shrink for us. So I'm curious to see, once we start diving into the new expansions of Canvas, is this going to increase my rating here of this game? But again, it's another one of those simple, fun, easy games to get to the table, and because of its super short playtime, you're able to play this multiple times and create all of these different paintings. But this is my 27th favorite game in our collection here, Canvas. Alrighty, moving on to number 26, not to be outdone by its other two, we have Horrified American Monsters, alright? And just like with the Greek edition of this game, this is the American Monsters, the cryptids version of this game. And for me, really, the only difference as to why this is the highest rated Horrified game is because this is probably one of the few board games that I can play with my father. My father is not really into board games a lot, but he does love cryptids. Me and him talk about cryptids and Bigfoot and the Jersey Devil and aliens and conspiracy theories a whole lot. And so this is just one of those board games where me and him can kind of bond together of trying to take out some of these cryptids. And so that's really why for me this game is rated so highly on that, because there is that special affinity to me, father and son, being able to play this board game together. And then also, usually 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, whenever we're playing this, he'll be like, oh, hey, I watched this TV show the other day talking about the Bigfoot, and let me show it to you. And then we went on this whole rampage. Like one time, we were playing this board game, and I forgot, I think it was the Howler, and he was like, oh, that reminds me, do you know about the Dog Man here in Lake Tacoma in Texas? And I was like, no, I've never heard about it. And he recorded a episode of, like, on the Discovery Channel or something like that, of this Dog Man and the sightings and things like that. And it was talking about that. So then we went from the board game to watching that a TV show back to the board game. But that's why this is really the highest rated Horrified game for me. I do enjoy the mechanics, but I really enjoy this theme, and I really enjoy that I get to play this with my dad a lot, because this is really one of the few board games that he that would like to play with me. But this is my 30 or 20, actually I keep saying I'm in the 30s. This is my 26th favorite game here in our collection, Horrified American Monsters. Alrighty, moving on to number 25, we have Dreadful Meadows. Dreadful Meadows is a Kickstarter game. This is 1 to 4 players, 45 plus minutes, ages 13 plus. It does have a really strong solo mode, but essentially you are taking on the role of a candy confectioner. And there's like this festival going on, and you are going to choose a character, and each character has their own asymmetric power. And what you're going to be doing is there are going to be these candy tiles out on the board, and you are going to build your own little engine and tableau here of like a candy farm. And so you're going to be sticking these tiles adjacent to each other and bidding them in groupings to be able to score victory points. But these tiles are also going to generate the candy, which is going to earn you money. And I love that mechanic of the game where, like, in this example here, right, these gummy globs are $1, these phantom mallows are $2. So what you would do is you have these little sugar sprites. You place a sugar sprite on a tile, and the tiles that are adjacent to it are going to generate you some candy. You then use that candy, so like each phantom mallow is $2. So you would have, like, if you put it on this tile here, you'd have $6 where you can buy more tiles, or you can even buy some, oh man, I forgot what they call it at the moment. Oh, I'm blanking. I'm gonna have to look because it's a funny name. These harvesters, that's what they call them. So you can also buy these harvesters, which you can then chain to activate with your sugar sprite to just have this mass continuation of, like, so you see how there's these 3 harvesters right here. If you put a sugar sprite down and it's adjacent to a harvester, it activates that harvester, and then any tile that's adjacent to the harvester, those generate candy as well. So you can use these harvesters to chain mass growth from all of your different candy tiles. But I love the Halloween theming of the game, right? We do own we actually don't own a whole lot of Halloween themed games, but this is clearly one of those Halloween themed games that we bring out all the time. And of course, we do have the Kickstarter edition. So all of the tokens pieces here are wooden, and these harvesters are acrylic, and they just look gorgeous. But this is a nice game here. You can also use those candies that you generate to fulfill concoctions, which will score you victory points as well. But just beautiful colors, has this vibrantness to it, and the mechanics here are very fun and interesting to play. But this is my 25th favorite game in the collection, Dreadful Meadows. All right, moving to number 24, we have Sanssouci. And the saying with Sanssouci is that it is the Azul killer. And for me, obviously, in my list, it is the Azul killer. I enjoy Sanssouci so much because it brings in 2 games that you have already seen on my list and kind of combines them together, right? It has that Azul drafting where you're going to have this middle board, you're going to have cards with icons and colors, or icons or colors in your hand. You're going to play that card down and you will draft that tile. And then it has aspects of Carcassonne where you're then placing these tiles out into your garden in their respective locations, and then you are trying to move these guards throughout your garden to try and get to the very end to go ahead and score you some victory points. But man, this game is ages 8 plus, 2 to 4, around 40 minutes. I feel like it plays more in 30 minutes. The game is just so simple and sleek, and it's just a really, really enjoyable experience for me. Easy to teach, easy to play. You're playing cards down, drafting tiles, drafting these tiles down, and then moving these guards in their corresponding row in order to gain victory points at the end. And of course, this does come with 2 mini expansions, a board and some different tiles that you can play with as well. But this is Sanssouci, right? A tile drafting, tile placement game here, and it is my 24th favorite game in the collection. All right, moving on to number 23, we have Earth. Now, this might be one that stirs up the most controversy here because I know a lot of people really do enjoy this game. But Earth is essentially like an engine building, tableau building game where you're going to have these fauna cards or climate cards and things like that, and you're going to be playing them out into a 4x4 grid. And these cards are going to be activated throughout the different actions of the game. You'll be able to put like plants on them. You'll be able to put these canopy pieces to help score victory points and kind of boost these cards up. But look, Earth is one of those games that I think would be higher up on my list if it just didn't take so long to play the game. I mean, it just feels like it's a chore trying to get this to the table because of the playtime of Earth here. But Earth is one of those games that when we get it to the table, it's like, man, this is a very enjoyable experience. I do love how when you take one action, everybody else gets another action, so there's not a whole lot of real downtime when playing Earth. I do enjoy these stackable wood pieces here, and overall, like, I mean, it is a fantastic game, but for me, I just think it sometimes just goes a little too long, and I just feel for like a game like this, I wish it was just a little bit shorter, but there's a lot of great things here to Earth that we really do enjoy. I mean, who does not enjoy building your own ecosystem with stackable wooden pieces and things like that? But this is my 23rd favorite game in the collection here, Earth. Alrighty, moving on to game number 22, we have Flamecraft. Flamecraft is like a resource management, worker placement type game where you are going to have a dragon miniature. You are placing your dragon out in these different shops, taking different actions, playing dragon cards from your hand, and then collecting these resources and taking a bunch of different actions. And your goal is to score the most reputation or victory points. And you're going to do that by playing fancy dragons either during the game or at the end of the game to score victory points. But mostly you're going to get a lot of your reputation from these enhancements by trading in these different resources and then putting these enhancements into these different shops. And for me, I just love the artwork. You know, Sandra Tang and the design, Manny Vega, do such a great job with this. You know, I backed their other campaign, the Critter Kitchen. You know, Sandra did the artwork for that, and I think Manny Vega did have some design work in that as well. But I just love the simplicity of the game, of how you have all these different types of dragons, like different names and such, but every type of dragon is always going to do the same thing. So bread dragon, meat dragon, leaf dragon, every single bread dragon, even though it's a different picture and a different name, is always going to have the same effect. So you always know what every bread dragon does, diamond dragon, and leaf dragon does. And so it makes the game super simple and super creative. I love the, of course, we have the deluxe edition, which adds to that presence on the table. We have the wooden resources, the metal coins, the dragon miniatures, and things like that. The board itself is a mat, which I do love. But yeah, I mean, it's this great placement, resource management type game. I love the artwork. I love the cutiness of it, and always a fun, enjoyable experience going to these different shops and seeing all the artwork when playing Flamecraft. But this is a 1 to 5 player game, 60 minutes, ages 10 plus. But here we go. This is number 22, or my 22nd favorite game in the collection, Flamecraft. All right, guys, we have made it to the last number in this video. Number 21, we have Sagrada Artisans. Sagrada Artisans is a legacy version of the board game Sagrada, which is a dice drafting game here. You're going to be rolling some dice, drafting these dice, and then putting those colors and numbers out into these different window panes. And we have never played the original versions of Sagrada, so this was our first experience with Sagrada, and man, I am really enjoying this legacy version of Sagrada here. I just love the color-esque aspect of the game, right? Anytime I'm in the mood to be artistic, I just love being able to draft that dice and then color in. They also have these other spots these other windows here that you can color in as well. At least I hope so. Now we do have this is the Kickstarter edition, so there's some Kickstarter exclusive stuff that we haven't dove into. So hopefully you don't use any of these other window panes for that, because I've been coloring them a little bit. But this is one of the few campaign games that Sierra does actually enjoy. She's not a big fan of campaign games, and so I think for me, that's why this is rated such highly on my list, on top of the enjoyment of the simplicity of the game. Roll some dice, draft some dice, color in some stuff. That you guys know I do really enjoy campaign games. Sierra does not. So now you have a campaign game here that she enjoys as well. And I think that's why this game is such highly rated on my list. But I think we are like 6 or 7 windows deep into Sagrada Artisans, and like I said, we are just enjoying the process of it, the mechanics of the game, the artwork, the presentation, right? It's on you to kind of make the art in the game with Sagrada, but all the colors, the vibrantness, I really do enjoy here with Sagrada Artisans. So this is my 21st favorite game in our collection. Alrighty guys, so we have made it to the end of another list. Wow, we are getting close. We are in that top 20 now. So I'm curious to see what some of these games are in my top 20. And, you know, obviously you guys might know what some of them are because you haven't seen them get pulled off the shelf yet. But it's going to be a fun, enjoyable experience. I hope you guys are enjoying all this content and diving in to see what games I really enjoy and some of the other games we have in our collection as well that we haven't had the opportunity to review or play on our channel. As always, guys, if you own any of these games, drop down in the comments below. What are your thoughts and opinions on any of these games you saw here today? Go ahead and smash that like button, hit that notification bell. And as always, guys, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel so we can keep bringing you some more awesome content. All right, guys, y'all have a great one. Bye.